What is up, movie fans, and welcome back to a brand new episode. My name's Pat Carrick.
I'm David Mayer.
And this is the show where we have no choice but to drive 100 miles to the closest cinema to watch the latest movies so we can help you decide whether it's worth the drive.
So this week we are going to see Coco. It's written and directed by Lee Unkrich and stars Anthony Gonzalez, amongst other voice talent. Coco tells the story of aspiring musician Miguel, who enters the land of the dead to solve the mystery of his family's ancestral ban on music. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it a lot, in fact. I love an animated film. I love them all. And this is the new offering from Pixar. Lee Unkrich, who's doing this one, directed Toy Story 2 and 3 and Finding Nemo and Monsters, Inc.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean,
That is a good resume. And not just even just, say, animation or animated films. They're just great films. The very clever thing that Pixar have mastered is the fact that they kind of cater not only to the kids going to the cinema, but also the parents taking them.
And this one is about an ancestral ban from this kid's family on music.
Yeah, so it takes some really interesting themes. The main one in particular, what seems to be, is death. When I was growing up as a kid, there were quite a few films that kind of centered around the theme of death. But these days you don't see it as much, so I think it's kind of brave and exciting that this is something that happens to everyone, and to put an interesting take on it, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and it's also a Mexican theme piece as well. So the music should be kind of great in a lot of ways, right? Yeah.
But also there's going to be a style to it, which I'm really looking forward to. I really want to see how they bring that aesthetic to the screen. It could be a miss. Pixar have had a couple of misses, but their first effort in a series, I don't know if this is going to be a series, but their new efforts do tend to do pretty well and have been fairly solid so far. They always strike an emotional chord with most people. I mean, if you look at some the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes of Up, I expect a good cry today. Good-o. Well, that'll be interesting for me to have to deal with. One thing I really enjoy about these Pixar films is just purely the visuals. Everything looks so stunning. The animation is flawless. I'm excited to see this one. I'm a little bit hungover today, so just to sit back and relax and go back to my childhood is probably a good thing for me. Well, let's see if we can get you there then, Pat. Okay. Remember me. Oh. Well, I'll start us off. I'm not sure. I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed the last act more than the first two. I really don't want to give too much away about the story, but there's a twist sort of 2/3 of the way through. Before the twist, it was bouncing along at a decent enough pace for me. Then as soon as the twist hit, all of a sudden it just grabbed me and got me right into it. Yep. And all of the emotional content they built up in the first 2/3 of the movie really hit home. For a start, I didn't see the twist coming. Yep. Which was nice. A lot of the time, particularly with the children's movie, the twists are a bit more obvious. You can see them a mile off. Yeah. Whereas this one, I didn't see coming. Well, I would say typically initial thoughts, but for me, it's initial feelings. I got kind of emotional throughout that, Dave. Good. I feel Pixar have kind of just done it again. They're just fantastic storytellers, and I think this is a really good story as well. They tap into kind of things that people have in them that you don't really know that's there. It's like a jerk. It's really almost visceral when it hits you with the emotional quality. It really makes it so much more impactful. Obviously, it's an animated film, so we should probably talk quite a lot about the animation. If you look at the animation history of Pixar, they obviously get better and better over time, but the animation in this was at times just astounding. Yeah. I particularly like their water effects. Yes. And there's a few moments in this which where there's a lot of glass and a lot of light and a lot of they do so well playing with light reflecting off of different surfaces, different textures, wood grain, all that kind of thing. For someone who loves animation, it's just a ridiculously rewarding movie.
What I found really interesting as well, at the very beginning of the film, they cut over to Pixar Studios and it had a few representatives out the front. What was really nice, they explained a little bit of the techniques that they used in this particular film, which I thought was great, because when those scenes came to be, you really appreciated what you were looking at. And what was really cool as well is that they kind of thanked people to come out and support the film. And it's a weird concept, but you'd think you'd see that more, and that was the first time I've ever seen the studio themselves saying, thank you for coming to see our film, we hope you enjoy it. And then the film began, which was really cool. What did you think of the lead? Miguel.
I liked him.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to dismiss child characters in films.
Yep.
And I think that's partly because they're so often very unrealistic.
Yeah.
But I really think it was a very real childlike performance. It was they really sort of put a lot of work into how would a child feel about something, how would a child feel about this, how would they react to this, and they kind of got a really good pitch of what a child knows about death and loss and things like that as well.
Yeah, I think the young man who voiced the character as well did a wonderful job. With Pixar, they just really emote these characters so well, and the voices really contribute to that. So I thought the young man, I thought he did a really good job.
I had a look at the cast list earlier, and there was only really one that I recognised.
Yeah. Did you notice whether they were of Mexican descent?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think that's great as well, that they really, wanted to get some authenticity about it. There's a lot of comments these days about whitewashing casts and stuff like that. So I'm glad they held true to that.
I think voice acting is one of those things that people think might be very easy, but actually is incredibly difficult.
Yep. And
I think everyone did a fine job here. It was quite a bit more song heavy than your average Pixar number.
It revolves around music.
Yeah.
And that struck a chord with me as well, pun intended.
Hey.
Because I like to play music myself. Knowing some of the passion and the feelings you get of making music and watching this young man play guitar was really cool.
See, that was one of the highlights for me as well. The animation is like, it's no perfect animation.
Yeah, they really focus in on the fingers playing the frets, and it just looks so real, and I really appreciated that.
What we do have to talk about, and it's a slight aside and in no way detrimental to the film that we saw, the pre-show featurette.
Oh God.
There's been a lot of talk about this on the internet, a lot of people complaining about having to sit through the pre-show featurette, which is a Frozen Christmas Olaf singing nonsense special.
I got very excited because Dave said, oh, we get a short before the film, and I was really pumped about it because often Pixar put out these shorts, often they don't even have dialogue. They only last for a short amount of time, and they tell a beautiful story or something quite humorous, and I love them. I think they're great. But this was something totally not that.
It was a waste of time, and I think, as you say, quite almost detrimental to Pixar's reputation.
It was a little bit. Look, at the end of the day, well, hang on, we're going through some traffic here. I need to concentrate. There's a guy out here with the slow sign. We wave to the gentleman, he waves back. Standard road procedure. Frozen's not for us. It's more for a 10-year-old girl, and boys as well. But yeah, it was very long-winded, not very entertaining. I can find the appreciation. I mean, we've gone to see a kids movie after all, and we found the joy in that. But it was just shoving songs and terrible story down here, and it went on and on.
It wasn't a short.
Like,
it really wasn't a short
to watch
at all.
Frozen.
I think it was a very, very good comparison for the film that came after.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to see everything that can be bad about a computer-generated movie, an animated movie, versus everything that can be good about it, it's a wonderful direct comparison.
Yeah. So, in short, if you do decide to go see the film, don't worry if you're running late.
But anyway, back to Coco.
Alright, we should wrap this up.
We really should. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was too childish. It certainly wasn't saccharine. All of the song work was great. The animation was really just... They're going from strength to strength. I think every single Pixar film I see, the animation offers something new. Although I wasn't as invested in the first two acts, as soon as the third act hit and you got that twist, all of a sudden it just all came together and made it so much more impactful, so much more powerful for me. As far as score goes, I'd go an 84.
It hit all the right notes, and I keep doing musical puns.
It's hard not to.
It wasn't as entertaining as some of the other Pixar films, but I can't really fault this film. It wasn't necessarily my favourite, so I'm going to give it an 88. It was great, and I'd highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Coco definitely coming in as very worth the drive for both Pat and I. If you haven't already got out to see it, get out to see it. It is worth it. Don't worry if you're running 5 minutes late. Or even 10 minutes late.
Yeah, or 20 minutes late.
You still won't miss the start of the movie.
Oh my god.
Not really anything else left for us to say other than if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, it's a cheerio from me.
Cheerio from me.
And we'll catch you later on down the road.